Come on, light. Thank you. Hey wealth builders, it's Akiva and welcome back to The Bemused. So unless you've been living under a rock for the past few days, you had probably heard that the Mega Millions jackpot is now up to $1.6 billion and they're having another drawing for this grand prize tonight. So here's my brutally honest plan of what I would do if I were blessed enough to be the one person in the chances of 302 million people to win this massive jackpot. So let me preface all this by saying I have never played the lottery and I have no intentions of ever playing the lottery in my life. But if I did, and if I won, I have a pretty good idea of what I would do with the money. So those of you who've been around know that I work as a financial planner, and so honestly, those huge numbers don't faze me one bit. The clients that I work with have net worths of 500 million plus. So honestly, like looking back on the days, it wasn't that long ago where I thought $100,000 was a lot of money. And now looking at the type of money I deal with every single day, like this 1.6 billion, like it really doesn't even faze me, like not one bit. I think because I put some thought into this already, if I were to ever win the lottery, I would be more prepared and not be like the 70% of lottery winners who go broke within 5 years. Another upside of actually being a financial planner is that I have built myself a pretty strong network of attorneys, accountants, other really very, very smart investment advisors and financial planners that I know I can go to and trust if I were to be in that situation. So firstly, if I won the lottery, who would I tell? No one, no one, no one. That's who I would tell. Nobody. I would make sure that my prize is claimed anonymously, and only a few states, I think like 6 states, allow you to actually claim your prize anonymously. But what you would do in states that don't allow that is you have, your estate attorney or whoever create a trust, so that way there's some anonymity between the name of the trust that's actually claiming the prize and you as the beneficial owner of that money. And so literally my attorney would be the first person to know, and the only person to know for a very long time. I wouldn't tell a soul. I wouldn't tell my family. I wouldn't even tell Meshack for a very long time, okay? Just being honest. Like, I don't need this type of, I don't need this drama in my life. And guess what? Nobody would get suspicious because, as I'm gonna explain a little bit later, my lifestyle wouldn't really change. There wouldn't be a reason for anybody to be suspicious. Even though I have a basic plan of what I know I want to do, I still wouldn't even touch that money for at least the first month after I get it. Because with that much money, even though I say I'm not fazed by it, like still put a little bit of boundary between me and that money so that I don't make any stupid decisions, kind of get my head together in that 30-day period before I start making any major decisions. And then I'd probably hire the firm that I actually work at, because I work with some of the smartest people on the planet, hands down. Trust them with my money. And my whole firm don't need to know either. It would legitimately be limited to those 2 or 3 people who are on my specific team. So maybe on planet Earth, 4 people would ever know that I had this money. I'd tell Meshack eventually. So I think in the course of life, maybe like 5 people would ever know that I had that kind of money. But no, my family, they would never know. Never, ever, ever know. So would I take the lump sum or the annuity? So for those who aren't familiar with the lottery, that 1.6 billion is actually the annuity amount. So that's the total amount that they estimate will be paid to you over the course of, I think it's a 30-year annuity. They pay it out to you over 30 years. But if you take the lump sum for this Mega Millions jackpot, it's actually, they estimate it to be $905 million. And so that's what I would get if I would do the lump sum. And I would take the lump sum because I think that with my knowledge, with the team that I'll have, I know that it will make a lot more financial sense to take the money early. I know that I don't have a problem with hiding the money from myself or thinking I'm gonna do something stupid with it. Like, I'm not. I know myself. So I don't have any problem taking all that cash up front and doing what I want with it. And so I take that $905 million, which after tax might be about 520-ish million. And then comes tithe. As you guys know, if you've seen my Budget With Me video, which I'll link up here, you guys know that I do return tithe. 10% of all of my income goes to my church, or to my church conference, I should say. You see, the way how I'm not very familiar with the way that money is handled, I should educate myself some more. I don't like putting money into things where I question the impact it's going to make. So yes, while I would give it, gladly, willingly give it to my conference if I knew it was going toward a specific project. Honestly, I don't know if my conference would know what to do with a check for $90 million. I'm just saying. The funny part of that whole situation is that like gambling and the lottery is not even really looked highly upon, I guess I would say, like in my religion and stuff. And so if they knew the source of that money, it would honestly be very interesting to see their reaction, because it's like, who's gonna turn down $90 million even though it's from something that they don't support? So it's gonna be interesting to see how that dynamic actually plays out. And the last thing I want is for me to give that kind of money and it go to waste and it's spent stupidly. But before I write that check, I would definitely educate myself more as to where money typically goes in my conference, and if there's a specific project that I could, you know, put money toward and help, then I definitely would do that. I know right now my conference is building low-income housing type situation, building a building in Queens, so that kind of stuff I'm really into and I really support. So I would really do my research before I write that check. It'll go out, but as to what specifically it'll support, that's gonna be TBD. And there might be some other projects going on in other parts of my church organizations that I would probably want to support. So I definitely do my research and, you know, look around a little bit before any checks start getting doled out. So after taxes and after tithe, that leaves me with about $430 million, depending on how much I decide to give. So aside from tithing, would I give any of it away? And absolutely I would. I would definitely want to expand like my philanthropic endeavors. Like currently I'm just basically tithing and maybe giving a little bit of extra offering to my local church on the side. But I would definitely go beyond that and look at causes in the community and things that causes that I genuinely care about, that I've really never just been able to support in a meaningful way. So I would definitely do that. I could see myself starting a foundation, something like that. I'm very big into educational causes, economic empowerment, financial literacy, as you guys know, which is why I even do this channel in the first place. So those are the kinds of causes I think I would support with possibly a foundation. Would I give any of it to my family? Now, let me just say, again, I don't care how much money I have, if it's 1 penny or $100 million. I don't like putting my money in places where it's not gonna make an impact. So what I would do in terms of gifting to family or friends, I can see myself definitely like paying off my parents' mortgage, so I would definitely do that. They wouldn't know who it was, because I wouldn't tell them who it was. They would just know that their mortgage has been paid off. When I first started thinking about this, I considered paying down some of my sister's student loans, but honestly, I probably wouldn't do that. And let me tell you why. It's not that I'm a terrible sister. I love my sisters, but they wouldn't even know this. Like, my sisters are so oblivious sometimes to like their student loan balance. Like, I legit could pay down like $30,000 and they wouldn't even notice. Like, so to me, I consider that a waste. It's not making a significant impact. They're not gonna realize it. So I probably wouldn't. So the only gifting I would do is probably pay off my parents' mortgage, so that way they have more money to save for retirement. But since my sisters are in college right now, I'd probably sprinkle in, you know, a couple of flights here and there. You know, next time you wanna come home, maybe I'll pay for it. That way it's not too suspicious. It's not too suspicious. So I'd probably do something like that. Would I give any of it to Meshach? That's a good question. Honestly, the first thing I'd do is I'd probably buy him a car, because, and not no crazy expensive car, like a newer car, like maybe like, you know, it could be new, but it's not gonna be ridiculous where it's something I couldn't afford on my own budget and salary. So he might get a new car, but it's gonna be like, you know, a new Toyota Camry or something like that. Ain't no Lambos, ain't no, you know, ridiculous stuff going on up in here. So I do that only because his car, low-key, is some trash. Like, he's gonna need a new car anyway in the next couple of years. That thing is old, and yeah, it does the job most of the time, but I see the struggle. So I'd probably get him a new car. I'll just make the excuse that like my credit score has gone up and I got like, you know, a 0% or a 1% APR, and so it was affordable. You see, I already got my stories kind of lined up. So what else would I spend money on? In terms of myself, I honestly would not spend spend like a ton of extra money like on things or whatever. I actually have like a list of things already that like I'd want to do for myself. It's mostly like personal development type of things, some certifications, some courses, and some things that I want to do. So mostly that's just like maybe a few $1,000s on some things that I have always really wanted to do, to be honest. I'd most definitely get myself a new laptop because my current laptop is trifling. So I'd get myself a new laptop for sure. I would over time buy myself some new clothes, and only because like that's currently on the agenda actually right now. Like I really don't buy myself clothes very often, and a lot of the clothes I have are clothes that I've had since I was like 7. Like I'm not even lying. Like those of you who know me in person know I'm pretty short. I haven't grown in like years. So a lot of the stuff I have when I was pretty much a lot younger still fit me. And it's kind of not a good representation of, you know, a 21-year-old. I think I kind of need to start dressing like an adult now. So I'd like to gradually replace, you know, those items and kind of start dressing the way that I feel on the inside. Sort of, kind of. Do I feel like an adult on the inside? That's kind of to be determined too. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like this sweater I have on right now, like I'm pretty sure I've had this since I was like 10. Like I'm not even lying to you. Like it's missing a button and all that, but we're not gonna talk about it. And that don't mean I'm balling out going to like these brand name stores either. Like I'm buying regular schmegular clothes on a Black Friday sale. Well, yes I am. Because just because I have it don't mean I gotta spend it on stuff that, you know, I don't value. It's not really something I value, having brand name stuff. So I'm cool. And then I might get a couple more things, you know, to round out my YouTube gear. So all in all, I could see myself spending about maybe $10,000 on myself and just things that I want. I wouldn't be getting myself a new car or anything like that, like anything significant. Like those are the types of things that I value and that I will put my money into. I would also definitely start traveling a bit more. It honestly wouldn't faze you guys. As you guys know, we just went on a cruise, which if you haven't seen that video yet, that's gonna be linked up here too. Last year we went on a cruise. Like we love traveling already, and so it honestly wouldn't ring a bell to anybody that we were taking trips like once a year or something like that. So that's what I continue to do. So that will probably be like a couple grand a year. Would I quit my job? And the answer to that question is also no, for several reasons. One, I'm not miserable at my job, to be very honest. I'm not miserable there. I'm learning a lot there. You know, honing in my skills as a financial planner, learning a lot. And so no, I would not quit my job. And then also, if I quit my job, then obviously that's like a big old alarm that, you know, something's up, because how do I just up and quit my job one day with no backup plan? Gotta think. I would stay at my job as long as I would have stayed, even if I didn't have any extra money. Would I pay off all of my debt? And the answer to this question might surprise you, but honestly, I would not pay off all of my debt if I won the lottery. I would pay down most of my debt, yes I would, but I wouldn't pay it off completely. In our very first video on the channel, which I'll link up here, if you've seen that video, you'll know that I'm in about $90,000 worth of debt between all of my student loans and my car note. And Misha was also in a whole lot of debt too, about the same as I am. And so even though I'm in about $90,000 worth of debt, I honestly wouldn't pay it off. Because as you probably saw in our building credit series, which I'll link up here, length of credit history makes a very big deal in your credit score. And I'm not just gonna pay off, you know, what's basically my oldest account, my oldest line of credit, just to save a little bit of money. So I would definitely pay down my high interest rate loans, and I would pay down my car note because that has the highest interest rate of any of my debt that I currently have. But I would definitely leave some of my student loans there just because that history is building, and if I close those accounts down, then my credit score is definitely gonna take a huge drop. And even though I would now have enough cash to literally pay cash for anything I'd possibly want in life, I don't think it's a good idea to let my credit score just go to crap, because you never know when you're gonna need it in the future. Like, who knows, money can go like that. Like anything can happen. I just wanna make sure that I have something else to stand on. Even if I don't have money, I have a good credit score. So if anything were to ever happen in the future, hypothetically, at least I still have a solid credit score if I ever need to finance anything in the future. So my goal with that money would just be to manage it as wisely as I can and to honestly just start a rare story of Black generational wealth and empowerment in this country. So that's my plan of what I would do if I were to be the Mega Millions lottery winner. What would you do if you were to win the Mega Millions jackpot? Leave your stories in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys would do with that kind of money. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when we post new videos all about personal finance. And for more videos on making sense of money and life for young adults just like me, I'm gonna link some videos over here so you guys can go check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.